July, turn me up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Merry Bunch podcast. It's your girl, Keonda,
William,
Brianna,
Nico,
Crystal,
Chris,
and we are the bunch. Today's episode is called Healing and Dating. In this episode, the bunch introduces Nay, a single mother who has learned to heal from past experiences in order to prepare herself for the future. Nay will dive into her role as a single mother and how that impacts how she dates to meet her future spouse. As our special guest speaks about her experiences, the bunch will chime in as they discuss popular topics about dating. So let's first start by introducing Nay. Hey, Nay.
Hey,
welcome.
All right, Nay. So let's start off how we know you. Anybody want to? Nico, how you know Nay?
We know her through a mutual friend. Hey, Ashley. Yes, that's how we know her.
Okay, so let's get some background information. Dating history, Nay. Any long-term relationships?
I would say 2. Now, after a certain age, before a certain age, I don't count. So I would go with 2. With my child's father and the previous relationship before that.
Okay, so why do you feel like these relationships ended?
Infidelity, trust, and I think a lack of maturity.
That's another good one. Okay. Any relationships that could have led to marriage? Any of those?
My child's father, the intentions were there, the desire was there, but sometimes people think they're ready for commitment. To get in something where they're serious and realize that they aren't ready. And so when that happens, sometimes you just got to put marriage to the side and go your own way.
I feel you. What qualities would you look for in a partner, or would be ideal?
First and foremost would be a God-fearing man. And when I say that, I mean a manly man, because no shade, but there's a lot of feminine, godly men out here. So I gotta make my request known.
Make it plain.
Someone who understands the calling on my life, that's so important. You can't grow in your relationship with Christ if you have someone that's next to you and don't understand where you're going. So that's important. Someone that knows how to communicate, be honest, loyalty, and a family man. And those are like the basics, so I won't go into it too deep as far as what I desire. And I say that because sometimes we give people the roadmap to break our heart. So we say in the beginning, oh, I want this, I want that. And they do all of it in the beginning. And it's not who they are. And after time, you really see who they really are. So I want to fall in love with who someone really is rather than who someone is trying to be for me.
Exactly. Instead of falling in love with potential.
Right, absolutely.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Do you desire to get married and have more children? Why? And if so, why?
Marriage? Yes. More children? I don't know. I will say, if my husband desired a child together, then I would make that sacrifice. But if he was like, no, I don't want no children, no more children, it works for me. But I do desire marriage. God made women from a man's rib. So, I feel like I'm a part of someone. And I want that connection to be in oneness with someone that you can grow with and just enjoy life with.
Yeah, I feel you. Any examples of marriage growing up?
Not many examples of people being married around me growing up, and the few that were is nothing that I would tailor my marriage to. Like I look at other people's marriage, especially growing up, and I say, well, that's something I would want to do with my life. What works for some don't work for all, and that definitely wouldn't work for me. So I'm gonna say no.
Hey, it be like that.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic: motherhood and single parent. What is your biggest joy of becoming a mother and your biggest frustration?
My biggest joy of becoming a mother was being able to teach and guide someone in life in my own way. So being able to unlearn everything that I was taught as a child and being able to relearn it, not only relearn it, but teach it to someone that I was bringing up in the world. So that's important because a lot of times, not only parents, but teachers and everyone around us teach us things that they were taught, but is it really true? And so in my journey in life, I've learned to unlearn all of that to learn the truth for myself, and I want to be able to teach that to my son as well. Also, it was a blessing for me to have a child anyway, because I thought I never could. So to be able to conceive and carry a child, that is a blessing within itself. I think the frustration would just be the downs that comes with having a child before marriage, co-parenting, but days get better, so that gets better as well.
Yeah. I guess you kind of touched on this a little bit, but if you can think of one thing, what has motherhood taught you?
Patience, community, to be able to see the world in someone's eyes, and to tread lightly, and also to be able to speak out. When you have a child, there is no, I'm going to be quiet. You are that child's voice. So you have to be able to speak out and advocate for them.
And you are shy, so I want to see that both.
I am very shy.
But we know when it comes to someone's child, they can get boisterous. So
Exactly.
So how do you maintain yourself while being a single mother?
I take advantage of community, family. When they want to keep them, I allow that to happen. And during that time, I take myself out to dinner, to the movies. Just use that time for me time.
So what advice would you give a single parent?
Advice that I would give a single parent would to be that I would just say that you aren't alone in what you're going through. There's many women that are single parents or have been single parents that have and are experiencing the same things that you are. If you have a village, utilize your village and don't feel guilty for still having a life. And also, you can't love a child right if you don't love yourself. So that is very important too.
So I'm gonna also ask Chris, what advice would you give a single parent, considering,
Basically, pretty much the same thing. Just take care of yourself first, so you can pour into your kids and do the things that you need to do to provide for them. It's gonna get hard for sure. So definitely keep a close relationship with God. Pray, just stay focused, keep pushing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll agree with what both of y'all said. I know my kids are my biggest critics. Anybody who know Naya and Kaya, know they gonna get in my tail. But I appreciate that. So just keeping it real in that sense with them, allowing them to have that communication where we can communicate freely with each other, not disrespectful, but having that open communication. So I would tell any parent, make sure you're good so you can pour into your child, and then also be able to receive when your child is able to pour back into you. All right, y'all. So let's go into the next one. Can you picture yourself co-parenting in the future? So I guess we're talking about like if you are married, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I definitely can picture that. Growing up, I had a great experience of co-parents in my life. My father had been married since I was maybe 3 or 4. So my bonus mom, my bonus brothers and sisters, I've known them all my life. And so it was nothing for my father to come over to the house with my mom's husband and they be riding the 4-wheelers. He'd be like, oh, your daddy was over here. It's like, well, he didn't call me to come see me. Like, what is up with that? But it was always a cool thing to see, for them to be able to be in the same facility without me even having to be there. It was always very mature, and that's something I do see myself being able to do in the future as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes time, people. It can take time, but it is a good thing when it's, done right. What are you most proud of for yourself?
for staying strong when I had every reason to be weak, persevering and trying to show up as being the best mother, that I could be on good and bad days. And that can be hard when you're having to heal.
Okay, so moving on to like healing. What was your healing process after breaking up with your child's father?
My healing process was a lot. I had to heal through so much, and it wasn't just from that. Maybe a few months before that, right after I had my son, I went through postpartum, and nobody knew. So there was many nights I cried all the time. And not long after that, my father had caught COVID, and he was in the hospital. So there was days out of a week I was driving back and forth every single day to a hospital, which is about 2 hours from where I lived at the time. So my dad ended up passing away. So I'm going through postpartum, losing my dad, and then the relationship ended with me and his father. Not only that, I had ended a friendship. And then not only that, my job was doing major layoffs. And at the time, they laid off my entire department. Thank God I was the only one that they kept from the department other than the CEO's niece. So that is a blessing within itself. But all of that hit me at once. So I was having to heal through all of that. But I learned to let God be God in it. My faith grew, and I always prayed, God, let your will be done. I got tired of praying for something to happen that never happened, and I realized that I was praying for something that was out of God's will. So I just prayed, God, let your will be done. And I also had to forgive myself and take accountability. Sometimes the hardest person to face is yourself. And I had to do that in order to be able to heal, because I couldn't blame everything that was happening on other people. I had to take some kind of accountability as well.
That's good.
That's good.
So how do you start over after a relationship?
So you start over a new relationship by healing yourself first. That's most important. There's no need to continue in life full of baggage and dragging it behind you. That gets heavy. And then also being whole. Being whole is important as well, because you got to make sure that you're happy. And be sure to not bring past trauma into current situations, but use what you've learned and use that discernment as well to guide you so that you won't waste your time on anyone or miss out on a good thing.
That's good. Okay, so with all the work that you have done, do you feel like you are healed and ready for a serious commitment?
I do believe that I am healed and ready for a serious commitment.
Okay. How are you preparing for your future spouse, and what do you offer?
Well, first and foremost, I'm preparing by growing my relationship with God. That's important to me, and making sure that I'm happy without a man. I'm focusing on my goals and, of course, being a mom, so loving my child and clearing out any baggage that does not line up with what a wife should be. So I got to make sure I get rid of all of that. And I'm being independent, but I do desire a man. I want a husband, because I do get tired of cutting grass. And yeah, I do be cutting grass. I got to go cut some next week. Just cut it last week. Grass is just tired now. But yes, I cut my own grass. I weed eat. I do it all.
All right. Okay.
Hey,
shout out to Nate.
I seriously do. Like, I'm
a single mama.
I don't pay nobody.
That's
go
what's
do
up.
it, and I get out there and do it myself.
Yeah.
So,
what kind of miniature lawnmower did you find? Dang.
Yeah, Nate.
Wow, that's what's up.
Crystal, Kiana.
I'm gonna leave that to Nate.
That's all.
They got husbands.
Yeah. They got husbands. Baby, let me tell you. That's all I can say is she. More power to you, man. But baby, I'm not going out there cutting nobody's grass, not even my own. Okay?
I want a husband so I don't have to cut my own too, Crystal. I don't like it.
Shoot, what do you have to offer? You cut grass.
I'm not bringing that to the relationship. I'm just doing it because I have to.
Yeah, more power to you. But look, I bought a weed eater for him to do it, but yeah.
Jesus.
But
Babe, can you buy me a weed eater?
I'll buy you a weed eater, baby. I just can't use it.
But I think other than that, I'm nurturing. I feel as if I'm successful. Once I know your niche, I can promise you I can help you make some more money, or whatever you need when it comes to being better. I can help you with that. I'm a problem solver. I'm a great listener. I'm cool. I can be your homie, but I can also be your home.
Okay.
She's gonna be your homie at home.
I'm genuine and loving, and I can cook. What Yvette say, I'll cook, I'll clean. But I offer real, and it will take someone real to not only understand that, but to offer that back to me as well.
That's right.
That's right.
Right. So if you single out there and listening, Nay is single.
Good God Almighty, and she bringing the whole table.
Right.
And she cooked great.
Scratch that one.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic, dating. Are you looking for a relationship now, or are you in a relationship?
I'm not in a relationship, but I am definitely open to a relationship. I wouldn't say that I'm looking, because a man that finds as a wife finds as a good thing. So I'm available when he shows up.
So what does dating look like with your child?
Dating for me is making sure I have a babysitter. But seriously, I don't introduce my child to anyone. I will when I know it's something, becoming serious. I don't think there's a certain time frame for that to happen. I just think, your spirit should know it. You got to use your spirit of discernment with that. You can't put a time limit on something like that.
That's right. And that was, you answered the next question. So moving on. What does waiting versus chasing the ring mean to you?
Waiting versus chasing the ring, to me, means not forcing anyone to be with you or to marry you, allowing it to just happen. When you have to force someone to do something, you either hear about it again or they won't truly be happy. So what's the point of forcing them into something where there will be no happiness? Again, you're wasting your time and setting yourself up for heartbreak. And I think I was going to say a lot of women, but men do too. We often set ourselves up for heartbreak, but we live and we learn.
That's true.
Facts.
That's true. Are you open to a wider age range?
Well, y'all know my age range been wide.
When you say that, what were the ages?
Well, I've never dated anyone my age, and you had to be at least 3 was pushing it, but the oldest I've dated over was 10 years.
Woo!
But Nate
she's
is
an
old
old
soul.
I know that, but woo! Okay.
His dad is 10 years older. You know who before that is 10 years over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nate got an old soul.
I mean, I know she had an old soul, but I didn't know she was dating old.
So that's like our age.
I know, still. I mean, not old, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know.
Older.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Now, just because they're older too doesn't mean they're more mature. So
We know.
You gotta be
Oh, sure,
careful
we
with
know
that.
that.
But I do prefer older.
So what is too old for you? Since you prefer older, what is too old?
Too old for me. I think I was around 21, and a guy that was like 42 tried to talk to me. And I had to say, "Baby, I'm the same age as your daughter. This ain't gonna work." That's too old.
So after 12 years, maybe.
Yeah, 12. If you're gonna be 12 years old, you gotta offer.
You got more. Your standards is a little different. Yeah.
So dating someone your age is out of the question for you. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was out the question.
never done it.
Okay.
But will you be open?
Probably won't. You know what, Crystal? I'm gonna take that back because I'm not gonna say never, because every time I say never, God always showed me that I am. So I'm just gonna say if it was my choice, then I would choose not to.
Okay, so tell the people how old you are.
I'm 30.
So if you're listening out there, 40 and up.
She didn't know you were 30.
I didn't know you were 30.
That's what I said last week. I thought she was in her 20s still.
Well, Bookie daughter told me black don't crack.
You talking about our age? Hell, she our age. Just about, almost.
Yeah. So yeah, in between 35, 40 is good.
Okay.
Go down to 30 plus.
No, don't go there.
Oh, never mind. Don't go there.
Go to Galinda's.
Sheesh.
Wow.
30
And
plus
Ronald
ain't what it
James.
used to be. So turning 30, do you feel pressure to settle down?
Not at all. I think when you're younger, you feel pressured to settle down, and you feel that pressure because it's what the world shows you, or the world tells you, hey, you need to be married by 25 with kids. And when you get older and you go through some stuff, you just rather it be right. So it doesn't matter when, as long as it's right.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So, Nay, what is your ideal date?
I'm not picky or choosy. I'm not one of these women that don't like Red Lobster or
Cheesecake factory.
exactly.
Don't take me there.
We can take a walk at the park and have some ice cream. If I'm getting to know you and the vibe is good, that's all right with me.
I know that's right.
Ice cream, get them every time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, especially on a hot day.
Not me, baby. You better have me by
Got
back.
Cookie factory.
Be rich, baby. So, have you ever used a dating app? Or have you ever met somebody online? Are you open to it? What are your thoughts about that online dating?
I've used a dating app before, and I don't know, I just couldn't get with it. It works for some people, though. I think one of the most recent times I've tried to use a dating app, I think I was being catfished. And so after that, I was like, you know what? This ain't even worth my time.
Yeah, because most of the time, before I was married.
Don't try
Because, we had did the little POF for Nico. I was on POF at one time, but it seemed like everybody was just really looking for the fish. They was looking for the fish. But yeah, so, I mean, if you find it, I'm talking about really looking for the fish.
Nico stupid. Nico crazy.
The catfish.
That's what I said.
He said he found it.
Well, moving on. So, y'all, we all can participate. Nico. All right. And so, moving on.
Nico is crazy, man.
So, moving on. Next topic, dating. And we all can participate in this, y'all. Should day-to-day pictures be included on your profile or all done-up pictures? Like if you're doing an online dating type of thing. Do y'all prefer somebody to have just their regular, what they look like on a regular day? Because you talked about being catfish, or, a done-up picture.
I say a mixture.
That makes sense. I would say that too.
Yeah, I say
I
mix.
agree.
Yeah.
Especially in these days, it's all this AI. You don't know what's real.
Yeah. It'd be bad.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
It'd be bad. What you think?
I agree with the mixture. Cause you don't want to just post like all your good pictures and then they see you on a bad day and like, hey, what? You know what I'm saying? So, nah.
Yeah, that happened to. I don't know if y'all saw this on TikTok. A girl went on a date, and she basically had all these like AI pictures, and then she showed up to the date, and she was like, I forgot her name, but she was like, "Hey, I'm Rachel," and he was like looking around, and because she looked totally different than what she is.
Yes.
So then people like made like videos like talking about that, and a girl posted her everyday picture, but she had like her bonnet on. She was in the bed. I'm like, no, right? So yeah, I think.
But why would you even post the AI picture?
Exactly.
Right,
Okay.
because that's not you.
That's not you.
Or and she had pictures from like 10 years ago. So
I mean, a light filter maybe, but whole AI.
yeah, not changing your whole face.
So have everybody here been on a dating app?
No.
I have.
Never.
What? Never? Never?
Every
I was
person
on
that
Neither.
I've dated
I never
has
did.
been through like mutual friends.
Yeah,
I was forced.
I never did.
But I did it too at that time. It was, I ain't never meet nobody on there.
I never.
See,
did.
I met a lot of people
Oh, I
online.
met some people. Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
I met my love of my wife. Love of my life.
Oh, love of my life.
Right.
Love of my wife too.
But I remember like, oh my god, that's what I do to him.
Got everybody. Wait when everybody leaves.
PG. Good
I forgot what I'm about to say.
God. You about to say something about
Oh,
dating
MySpace.
online. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
MySpace.
Well, yeah. So, okay, in high school. So this is kind of what started my journey about online. So in 9th grade, my friend, she was all on MySpace. She's like, "Oh yeah, I've been meeting guys." I was like, oh, "They're predators." Like I was like, "No." Right. So then I got in MySpace, and then I met some people like junior year or whatever. And I didn't meet up with them or anything, but I just exchanged numbers. And so that was like my first kind of process. So I think, you guys are a little older. A little older, but like that was just my process. Like
We was on MySpace.
no, I know, but like
won't.
y'all like a couple years
Okay,
older.
we get it.
I don't know. To me, it was just that generation of like meeting people online. But back then, it was like weird to meet people online.
It was.
It was like very
Yeah.
taboo.
Yeah.
But now it's like everyone does it.
Yeah.
So
Like Brandon, they get memberships for a couple of days.
Right.
We had no call Brandon that. But I'm about to that kind of go into my next question. Do you think it's more difficult to date in 2024, and if you have a child, with a child, do you think it's more difficult? Everybody can answer this.
I mean, it shouldn't be, because you think about it now, everybody got a kid. So I don't think it should be that difficult, but I'm pretty sure it is, because you got a lot of things you got to think about. Like as far as babysitters and when to bring them around your kids and stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess so, but
I even say like it's more difficult just because people intentions, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not genuine anymore. And I think that's because social media is out there. It just the stuff is just not genuine anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say people make it difficult. It ain't difficult. People just make it difficult.
Yeah. Okay, how do you protect your peace while dating?
I think you protect your peace while dating by staying true to you. I think we lose our peace the moment that we become someone else, trying to please someone else. So as long as we stay true to who we are, set boundaries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Know what we desire, what we don't want, what we willing to put up with, and what we want. And it's easier to protect your peace that way and stick to it. Because it's easy to get in something and, because this feels so good, he must be so much. And it's easy for you to just like, you know what, I'm going to let this slide. And the one thing that you let slide in the beginning will be the same thing that breaks your heart in the end.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So you got to go ahead and put your foot down.
Yeah. That's good.
That's true.
So, how vulnerable should you be while dating? Anybody?
I think that comes with the level of friendship that you have with that person. Well, for me, I'm all about building a friendship with someone. So if I can be comfortable around you and I feel like we're friends, it's smooth sailing, I'll start to open up just a little bit, as time goes on. Now, I ain't going to be completely vulnerable with you in the beginning because that's something that you have to earn. You just can't be around here dating everybody and just opening up your entire heart to each person you're dating. You got to be careful with that. And that's why I like building a friendship first.
So, would you say that comes with time,
It
or just the person?
Well, it can be different for people. I think it can come with time, and it can just be the person. You can find somebody that you can just vibe with, like, we just cool, like it's easy to talk to you. Let's just talk, y'all just chilling, listen to music or whatever the case may be. You just start to open up. So that may not come with time. That can be something that happens automatically, but for the most part, I think it comes with time.
Yeah.
So in you guys' relationships, when do you feel like you were most vulnerable with your spouse in the beginning? Did it take some time? Was it initial? What you guys think?
It really didn't take long for me to open up with my wife. It really didn't take long. It really did. For her, on the other hand, though, it took a little minute. But I was open from the get-go because I wanted her. So I was trying to get my baby.
I was asking questions.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh,
For me,
but you did the research, like.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, she researched. Yeah, she researched me before I even like. Yeah, she was like,
I
yeah,
did.
I know exactly who you are. I'm like, who am I? Like, tell me about me.
I did.
Like, yeah, but.
I would say it took me a little minute to be completely vulnerable because, I had 2 girls, so I had to do the research. I had to, I wanted to spend time alone first to see if this could even be something worth bringing my kids around. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it did take me a little bit. I can't give you an exact time frame.
Right.
But it did take me a while.
Kaisers?
Like Crystal jumping on. Go ahead, baby.
It took me some time. I think it took him. I can't remember. I think it took him a little while too. But I know for sure it took me some time because I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I didn't really know what was going on between us, Mm-hmm. It was more like, I thought it was going to be like a little fling for a little bit and then, just move on with your life. I didn't.
Oh, so you did a Nico. Thought it was going to be a little fling.
That's what I thought it was going to be at first, yeah. Mm-hmm. What you think, Chris?
I didn't know that.
What he said? News to me.
I didn't know I was a fling.
I didn't mean it like that. But you know how you was acting.
Nah, I'm joking.
So,
But yeah, it did take some time. But it was some things that, I ain't have a choice. It had to be in the open, like my situation. You know what I'm saying? Certain, like my kids, the things that I was going through, I really couldn't hide them from her. But, it took some time to actually open up.
Nico?
Fling.
Well, I shouldn't say fling, but you know what I mean. Like, because I ain't even going down there.
Yeah, for me, it didn't take long. I mean, we started off with, we explained how we kind of started off, so we kind of was very open in the beginning, so it didn't take long at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because of what happened at the beginning, it kind of allowed us to be very vulnerable with each other and just went from there. Mm-hmm. So, I'll say early on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, should you date more than one person? Is that what it say?
Yes, while in the dating field.
While in the dating field.
What you think, Nay?
I've always been the person to only date one person.
Boo.
Exactly. I was over the past few months, I haven't done much dating, but I've considered dating more than one person because to me, dating is just getting to know someone. I'm not sleeping with you or any of that. I'm just strictly trying to get to know you. So I think it's okay as long as you're behaving yourself appropriately.
Right.
But yeah, for those that do it, it's cool. And if you don't, then, you just got to make sure that you're aware that, hey, you're putting all your eggs into this one basket and this may not be the one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then when you're putting that one egg into that basket, you have expectations that are not there. So you're making yourself, more vulnerable.
Yeah. I was good at dating, back in the day.
Get off me.
I was good at dating. I more than one person. I would not date just one person.
How do you handle that though?
Baby, I was handling it. No. But like Nate said, it's not that you out here, giving up all your goodies. You just like, okay, I spend time with you, and because sometimes you're gonna go on dates and this person is just not it, and they still may hit you up, and you like, okay, cool, we might can hang out, but and then it's somebody who has your attention, but again, you're not focusing, you're not putting everything into that one person, because like you said, you will start to expect more. And if that person isn't ready to give that to you, you setting yourself up. So I was good at dating because I wasn't looking for anything serious.
Won't none of them meet, I'll see.
What you say?
Won't none of them meet.
Who?
The ones you was dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think even if you're not being physical with the person and dating, like, you still got to be careful in how many people you dealing with and communicating with, because those attachments, that energy still,
yeah, I guess,
can disturb your peace.
No, it won't disturb.
I mean, because you got some people that get attached just by communication.
Yeah. Well, then dating multiple people is not for them.
Yeah,
and you need to be open too. I know one time when I thought I wanted to date, and I started communicating with this guy, and I was like, look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I want to date around. I want to communicate with more than one person. I thought I could do it, but I couldn't do it. But it was just the point of, hey, I'm letting you know what it is from the jump, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to continue to try to talk. But I think when you're open with people like that and letting them know that is what you're doing, you give them the opportunity to choose whether or not it's something that they can handle.
That's right. Nico,
could you date multiple people at a time?
No.
Why?
I tried it, but it was not for me.
Why?
It's just not for me.
But that's because you found the one. But just
I found the one in the midst of trying it, and it definitely wasn't for me because
he was mixing up NC State with UNC.
Yeah, at the time I had one at NC State. It was Carolina. Yeah, and I think you was at Central too, weren't you? Lord, I got it mixed up. They was all over the map, but it was just a little too much for me. I couldn't,
They go had them everywhere.
I had one going crazy too. That's key.
What about you, Chris?
I just
look, Chris, like,
I'm just saying, it was before me, so I don't care.
I mean, that's why I said I was kind of speaking personally. Like, yeah, I used to talk to multiple people, but the attachments, like, it was just too much. Bro, like, some people just crazy.
Oh, okay.
Even if you be open about the boundaries that you have, like, some people just still like to push it. So
you messing with multiple crazy girls at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you married one.
I
Shit.
William, dating multiple people?
Nah, that ain't never been my thing. It ain't never been my thing. I hate that you look at me like that, like whatever, but nah, it ain't never been my thing because I like I catch feelings fast. I do, so I'm not gonna have feelings for multiple women because that ain't gonna play out right. So like dating multiple women ain't never been my thing. It ain't. Even when I was younger, like I ain't date multiple women.
Okay.
Bree.
I tried. I'll take a free meal.
oh, man.
No, I'm just playing. I had lined up, you know what I'm saying? But no, like I would go on dates and have someone date, go on a date on Friday and then have one on Saturday, and then Thursday was a club day, so then we had a date on Thursday. So, I'll have dates, but eventually if I start liking someone, I couldn't manage it all, so then I'll have to like break them, like, breakaway. So
you got to have energy to do that.
Right. It was too much.
I don't have it.
I had it.
I thought about it, but I don't have it.
Surprising.
What's surprising?
That Bree. I couldn't do it. Well, I've never even tried actually, because like once I start talking to somebody and I realize like, okay, I really like this person, then I'm locked in on that person.
Facts.
I just can't. I've never dated multiple people, but I will say that once I know like, no, this ain't for me, then I can instantly start dating somebody else.
Right.
So, but the multiple people at the same time, I couldn't do it.
Like if I didn't like you, I wouldn't even talk to you.
Well, it's not really about liking a person.
That's-
You just
I'm talking about
trying
for
to
me.
figure out,
I'm talking
do
about
you
for
like
me.
a person?
Right.
Like if I didn't like you, I wouldn't even talk to you. Like,
And
for
see,
real.
I'm one of those people where this might sound crazy. Well, y'all just told the people I was crazy anyway. But I can tell instantly if I'm gonna like a person or not. I know it sounds weird, but it's the truth. Because I done talked to a couple of people and I just knew instantly like, yeah, no, this ain't that. So.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever been ghosted or have you been ghost? Did I say?
Or been the ghost.
Okay, Tommy.
So power.
Have you ever been ghosted or been ghost?
Y'all know what I mean? Or been the ghost. All right. Have you ever been ghosted or been the ghost?
No,
Do y'all know what ghosted is? My mama, listen, Ma, that means somebody ignoring your text messagings or calls.
Or just not dealing with you anymore.
Just dropping you.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I have ghosted people. I don't know if I ever been ghosted.
Okay.
I almost did it.
I've never been ghosted. Not that I can remember.
Anyone else? Now you've ever been ghosted?
I can't remember. I'm trying to think. I think I may have ghosted someone.
I ghosted a few people, but I don't know if
Yeah,
I
I've
ever
ghosted
been.
a few. I've been ghosted. Yeah, I was ghosted.
I've been ghosted by church people.
What's the name of the church?
If you're listening out
I put it out there. Somebody wrong, but I'll put it out there.
Well, ghosts can come in. Ghosted can come in any form.
Yeah, any form.
Oh,
So I mean,
ghosted is
Yeah.
ghosted.
There's a lot of
Right.
ghosts in church, so I feel
Yeah.
So is.
yeah, it's not the Holy
Yeah, I'm about
Ghost.
to say the same
Exactly.
thing. Ain't the holy.
well, I can say I think I've been ghosted and I've been the ghost.
How did you respond to the being ghosted? Whatever word.
Well, I guess you could say this is ghosted, but so with my ex, we were just like, we was beefing, like we couldn't stand each other. We had got to that point, and I remember we got into our argument, and we both hung up the phone and never talked to each other again. So I guess he ghosted me and I ghosted him. But
Y'all just
both was
Ghostbusters.
baby, look, he was tired of my ass and I was tired of him. So, yeah, so I mean, I guess that kind of counts or whatever. But yeah, and then as far as me ghosting someone else, separate from that incident or whatever, I'll never forget. This is when I was single and I went out one night to the club and I gave this dude my number, and we talked maybe 2-3 days just through text messages, and I was just like, I'm not texting him back. Like I just couldn't even tell him like this ain't gonna work or nothing. And he would be texting my phone like, hello, are you still there? You know,
yeah, she really ghosted him.
Yeah, I was just like, boy, please. I don't even know what made me give him my number, but
were the lights off? Did you see how he looked?
Yeah, I saw how he looked. He was, he was nice looking, but you just in the club and just like all that texting and I don't know.
So, I'll ask the question once y'all answer. Babe, have you ever been ghosted?
No.
I already knew that answer.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Have you ghosted?
Probably. Because I don't like people like that, so.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my gosh.
Have you ever been ghosted, Bookie?
Nah.
Stop lying. I ghosted you.
When did you? How did you ghost me? And you sitting right here in my wife.
But I became unghosted, but I did ghost
You became unghosted.
We got some new terminology.
I did.
Girl, be quiet.
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on. How can social media affect the reality of like dating?
Social media has affected a lot. People look at others' relationships on social media and desire what they have. And that's going to be the downfall in their relationship, because had you not seen this couple appear this particular way, then you need to ask yourself, like, what was it that made you want your partner in the first place? Like, you can't say that, hey, I love my partner, but the moment you see something different that you don't have, you're desiring that and no longer want your partner. And also it comes into play, I think, a lot of times, if there was no social media, we wouldn't meet as many people as we see on social media half of the time. There's so many women and men out here that BBL, you get to see all of that. It's a whole bunch of stuff, people portraying themselves as something that they aren't. And that actually is not reality. Half of what you see on social media isn't true. It's fake. And when people don't understand that or have the maturity to overlook what they're seeing, then yeah, it's going to affect not only your relationship, but it's going to affect you. You can't be true to you, so you can't be true to be, with someone else in a relationship, because you want what you see. You got to learn to love what you have, because even if something was true on social media you saw, you don't know what that couple went through to get to where they are.
That's true.
Like, you don't know how many times that man or woman had to, fight spiritually, physically. You don't know what they went through.
Right.
But yet you're desiring something that someone else have. Be happy with what you desire. Think about what you want in a relationship and not focus on others.
So do you think or feel that maybe you can have or maybe get inspired by another couple?
I think people will say that you can be inspired by another couple, but again, is it really true inspiration if you don't really know what you're seeing is true? Like, you can see something and say, oh, I'm inspired by that. But is that inspiration a true inspiration? Is what they showing you true? So you're going to claim that you're inspired by something, try to work towards that, and don't even know if that's attainable with what you have.
I'll say this. I'll say social media is a snapshot of good moments. So nobody's going to ever post their bad, the bad stuff that they have going on. So if you look at social media, you have to realize, like, these are only snapshots of good moments, or quote unquote good moments. I feel like you can be inspired. So if I see somebody buying a house, getting a new car, I could be like, you know what? I done been driving this car for about 10 years. I want a Tesla. I think you can be inspired, but always check yourself. Is that inspiration? Is it jealousy, envy? What's your motive behind it?
Right, where's your feelings coming
I think
from?
that's a good point. Whether it's inspiration or jealousy, because you could desire it all day long, but you can try all day to get something, but your heart got to be in the right place in order for you to keep it.
Right.
So that's why I say you got to make sure that it's true inspiration. Fact check. Whatever the case may be, fact check your life. Do my life and how I'm living line up to be able to receive this that I'm seeing.
Right. I feel you, because you don't really want to compare your relationship with what you see, whether it's on social media or just from people but I think you can be inspired, but most importantly, I just feel like maybe let's say you have a couple and they, I don't know, maybe do some things that you want to do, or don't really necessarily compare your relationship to theirs. Just, I don't know, maybe try to do some of the things.
Motivation that you can do it
to get you in that direction. You
right.
know?
Right.
Definitely.
Okay, so since we're talking about other people's relationships, do you feel, as far as dating, even in marriage, do you feel like it's good to hang around other couples who maybe have the same goals, aspirations,
I definitely agree with that. I feel like, as a married person, I'm not married, never been married, but for me, and when I get married, it's cool to have single friends, but you also need those friends that are where you are, that can speak more to marriage and that can give you, marital advice for those that are, may have went through what you're going through, or just to hang around them. Though, like you said, those types of goals, if you all have the same, it's good to have that. Is it wrong to have single friends? No, it's not. But it's also good to make sure that you have those that are there with you as well.
Yeah. Because you want to have that, not for, not necessarily for comparison, but for relation.
Exactly. Yep.
So, yeah. Okay.
And I try not to give my married friends advice because I'm not married, never been married. If I'm going to give any type of advice, baby, we're going to go to God. We're going to pray, and I pray that God gives you the answer, because that's not my place. Your marriage is between you, God, and your husband or your wife. And then you also have friends that are married that can speak to marriage more, than I can. So I rather not, I don't choose to step on that when it comes to marriage. Marriage is sacred to me. So that's why I always like for any friends that I have that are married to make sure that you have married friends too.
Yeah. That's good you brought that up, because when I was single, I had married friends, and they would like, tell me some things and vent and stuff. And back then, I would be like, girl, I wouldn't put up with that, blah, 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 blah. You need to leave him, this, that, and the third. And I would say now, well, to the person I said that to, I was right. But anyways, but now that I'm married, I know there are certain things that I will not tell a single friend. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
If I need to vent or, just get something off my chest, I know there are certain things I will not tell my single friend, because she can't relate. So.
And as a friend, you shouldn't be offended by that, because you should want the best for your friend. And the best for your friend is your friend getting the right advice from the right people. And so sometimes the best thing that you can offer for a friend is for prayer, for God to give that person discernment for the answers that they're seeking. But sometimes you just got to stay off those conversations.
Yeah.
And speaking of discernment, how do you trust your gut discernment while dating? Crystal, you just kind of answered that a little bit.
What?
Trusting your gut. Sometimes you just know if you're talking to somebody. Explain the feeling.
I don't know. For me, it's just like, the best way I can describe it, it's almost kind of like I can see it a mile away. Like, it's almost like I'm predicting. Like, I can just see it coming. That's alright. That's the only way. That's the only way. Like, if I get a thought in my head, like, oh, this person is lying, blah blah blah. 9 times out of 10, I'm right.
9.9 times out of 10, she's right. For real.
So, but I would say for other people, just trust your gut. Like, if something don't seem right, I feel like if a thought pops up in your head about this person, don't just be like, no, I'm tripping. Kind of look into it.
Or if it's too good to be true.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes
that's the
is.
one. That's when you really need to look.
Right. Investigate that, because
baby, let me tell you how I was on Google.
They sending you flowers. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me go ahead and say this. Don't get me wrong. Flowers and gifts are nice. But when it's just like, okay, you're doing a little too much, it's normally something behind that little too much. Like I was trying to talk to some guy and he just kept doing stuff. And another thing I was saying, I never been surprised. And it's a nice gesture, but he would, do little different surprises. And it was just like something is not right. And ultimately, I sensed that, okay, you might be a little psycho. And, come to find out, that was pretty much true. So you really got to use your discernment. And that comes with wisdom. It comes with, going through previous situations and relationships, understanding what red flags are, and understanding your boundaries as well.
Yep.
So do you think it's important for people to do like their research? Let's say you just meet somebody. Do you think it's important to like go through Facebook and see what you can find, or
Absolutely.
are you more so like going with the flow at first?
Both. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna go through Facebook, any social media. I'm gonna type your name in Google. Google got a lot of stuff in there. You got names, phone numbers, address. You get it all. I'm gonna find what I can find. I gotta do my due diligence.
I'll say for me, yes, but also if I'm not really interested like that, no, I'm not gonna do that for everybody I talk to. If I'm feeling like, oh, maybe this could go somewhere, then I'm going to investigate a little bit so I can make sure my feelings is, I need to continue on down this path or go ahead and cut that off.
Bree, you ever do research?
No, actually, I never done research.
You did research?
Oh, me? Because everybody I've ever dated was like, through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like, oh, let me tell you about this person, blah, 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 blah.
I think that's good. That's good. You don't have to do it in those situations. But when you just meeting somebody random or something, people crazy these days.
But I will say, these day and times, still do your research.
Yeah.
Because the friend might not know everything about that person. So still just do what you can.
And meet, if not saying go meet his mama and everybody, but see how the family dynamic is. Risa Tisa taught us a lot, y'all. Homeboy was a little crazy, so we need to do, you don't have to be on Google, but just see the people that he talking to,
But if it's an initial date, are you really meeting his family and things like that?
No, but if it's somebody that you interested in.
Okay, yeah.
Because you don't have to do research for everybody,
Right. Right.
Okay, this question is for the men. Where should women go to meet y'all? Not the married ones, but single men.
Right.
Where should we go?
Find me at work.
Not you. Where?
Nobody, please come find him at work.
That's an invitation,
Right.
In general, when y'all were single, like what kind of places did y'all go to find and date women? Because a lot of times, I know when I was single, like that was a problem. Like, where do you meet single men?
They be
That's not a question.
They be at the
You might have to Google that one.
Are we giving advice for like present
Yeah.
time or what?
Like, cause for me, I don't know, because like I didn't party like that. Like my dad was a DJ, so if he was DJing a party or something like that, then I might go with him. But I like never did the clubs. I never did.
So
like,
where did you meet women in the past?
right.
Or do you have single friends? Where do they be to meet women?
I don't have any friends.
Oh my God.
Chris,
I mean,
where did you
ladies out
meet
there.
women in the past?
So for me in the past, I used to do music, so I was everywhere. I was in the club, every club, strip clubs. I was doing it all. I was everywhere. So that's what I done in the past when I was younger in music. So right now, I wouldn't know where to guide.
Well, y'all better not know now.
I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, I was in the clubs a lot. So,
like my previous relationship, my little brother was talking to her sister, so that's how I met her. The relationship before that, it was my homeboy cousin, so that's how I met her. Like I don't know where to go.
Just a random girl, not, you know what I mean? Like just other girls.
Just go out, people.
Like,
Just go out.
like church,
Right.
store,
They struggling.
club,
The mall.
Really use
Yeah,
the mall.
mall, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, not these days, but
Outdated.
unless you go to Crabtree. I don't know.
So nobody has single friends. Just kidding, guys.
Dang, we trying to help Nate and the viewers out.
Nay, I'm sorry, we can't help you. We don't know where to tell you right.
Dang.
Just go home.
Real.
Maybe he'll just knock at the door. Because they don't know. Lord have mercy. That was a struggle.
Seriously. I guess find them at work. Shoot.
Right. Ladies, what's your answer? Crystal, what's your answer? Where can they go?
everywhere. Everywhere. And I would say still try the dating apps. And the reason why I would say that is because my coworker recently, now she been on apps.
Crystal.
I've been in this department for over a year. Homegirl been on the apps.
Oh God.
Seriously. And just recently, she met a guy and he was not her type. So I will also say that too. Like some people you might think is your type, you know, try something different. But it worked out for her. Now, granted, it took her a while, but I would say just still try. Do everything, I would say. When you out and about and still do the apps. Because with the apps, you know, you don't have to talk to that person. You can just, what they do, swipe left, swipe right, all up, down, whatever. But
So let me ask a question. So we talking about meeting somebody, right? So say you at a gas station and a dude approached you and they not fresh. They look like they just got off work. They pretty dirty. Are y'all, nay, you, are you open to talk to that person?
Yeah.
If he looked dirty?
Manly.
If you look like you
As long as
just
he manly.
you got off work, yeah, that's how you dress when you got off work. That's fine. I'm gonna specify, but I mean, if it's clear you just got off work, you look like that. Like, no, I mean, you, at least I know you work.
So first appearance doesn't really, I mean, for anybody, how a woman come up to you regardless of she got on a bonnet and she come up to you, like, does the first approach, how they look, matter to y'all?
Don't come around me with no bonnet.
Maybe we should say not work, because if it was another scenario where it wasn't work, then my response may be different.
Right.
Yeah, you might need to take work.
Sagging pants.
I don't do sagging pants.
well, my husband sags, so
Dirty shoes.
no. If you looking like a bum,
Nah.
it ain't even no need to look my way.
Yeah, just like on TikTok, they're making fun of that man that had the polo on and the
That
New
man
Balances.
was fresh.
Yeah, he was fresh.
I didn't see that.
He was dressed very mature, and I think that's what got to a lot of people. They don't understand what dressing mature looks like.
Oh,
Right.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
He was
That was-
clean.
yeah,
He had
I
on
want
some
that
New
song.
Balances.
He had on some New Balance with a polo shirt and
Some nice jeans
nice
and a
jeans.
polo
Yeah, I think he
shirt.
ironed them jeans because they were sharp.
They were very sharp.
And then he got a deal with LRG.
Yeah.
Really?
He was
I
fresh to
wonder
me.
like some young,
Took him on
real
a
young
show.
girls.
Yeah, they were young.
Yeah, they were young. They was telling him he wasn't fresh. But
Young and dumb.
like they said, he was dressed mature. Like,
Right.
yeah.
And they thought they was embarrassing that man and set that man up for life.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a message right there.
That's crazy.
But where you find people, I would say I'm an advocate for online. Like your friend, I did not meet Nico the first go round. It took a while, and when you're online, you can still see if they're you know what I mean, you could still decipher and pick for yourself. But I would recommend it. You don't have to stay on there forever, but just give it a try. The bookstore,
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble, for real. Barnes and
I thought you was
Noble,
gonna say Home Depot. Barnes and
Home
Noble.
Depot, Homecoming. Go to these football
Ooh,
games.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Games is
Go to these games, right? A lot of them are single, right? When they have fraternity outings, go to those, right? Like, I mean, like, there's different places, and I'm not saying that you're searching for a man, but we also can't just be sitting at home expecting someone's gonna come to us.
Right, Sharonda, if you're listening out there,
Oh my God, listen out there.
Oh my God, because no,
You stay home.
no. Seriously, because my sister's like, oh, I'm ready today, and I tell her all the time. So you think the man just gonna come knock on your door? Like, you got to do something. You got to start a profile. You got to go out. You got to do something.
Yeah,
That's true.
and
They
of
got
course,
Christa Mingle.
they do. But of course, church. But sometimes even at church, you got to decipher because sometimes they be the biggest hoes. So I mean, even in church, you still gotta,
Yeah, they be hoes and they go both ways.
Ooh, Lord.
That's the truth.
Big facts.
Right. So you still gotta be careful.
Jakes, if you listen.
Have you ever been sworn?
No diddy.
Take this part out.
No diddy.
Oh gosh.
Take that part out, Nico. TD Jakes.
Oh, wow.
No, don't take it out.
No, take that out.
But yeah, I mean, you can meet people anywhere.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, Nay, do you have anything that you would like to add to the conversation about your, anything that we talked about so far?
No, that was good conversation. I enjoyed you all, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, we want to thank Nay for sharing her story and, having some good words of wisdom for people. So we appreciate you, Nay. Thank you, Nay.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. So that's a wrap for this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on all platforms. And remember,
The wedding is only the beginning.